My name is Daniel Anthony Doyle IV, fifth generation Irish Montrealer, proud Irish Montrealer, Quebecer, and Canadian. Like, you'll hear stories of people just joining together if there was a bad thunderstorm, or the organizations through the parish getting involved in charitable endeavors, and just being like a larger extension of a family within a community. That sense of community still exists within the Irish community here in Montreal, but I think it's just an extension of the families that kind of grew up together in Griffintown, Point St. Charles, and areas like that which had a strong Irish background.
Many of the Irish immigrants settled in and around the Griffintown area, the Point St. Charles area. It was just very close to where they landed, getting off the boats. My name is Ken Quinn. I'm the historian of the United Irish Societies of Montreal. The first Irish, to our knowledge, recorded here in the province anyway, were in and around the 1760s during the conquest. There were Irish fighting with the French to try to defeat the British. More close to now, you had Irish here in the early 1810s, but really during the first famine in and around 1830, you saw more and more Irish showing up here in the city. And of course, the big influx was around 1847 during the famine that we're all very much aware of. The St. Patrick's Parade here in Montreal began in 1824 when Michael O'Sullivan and a group of his friends decided that it was time to have a public celebration of the Irish here in Montreal. From the 1850s, mid-1850s on, it was essentially a parochial parade of Irish Catholicism. And this went on for decades and decades and decades.
It was just a big family gathering. It was like a family reunion. It's like another Christmas. It's a Christmas in spring. My father used to organize dances. There was all kinds of people coming into the house and having a drink or two, and relatives coming from all over the city, because not everybody lived in Griffintown. There were cousins, and they'd all just invade Griffintown and go to the concerts. The lineup for the parade to me was the most, not almost scary, but it looked like they were all marching off to work, because then they all lined up in Griffintown and they all marched up to the parade those days. So you just see them all marching up. They all had their shamrocks and top hats and very well dressed and very, very regimented. And I think that's just sort of like a discipline that we all grew up with.
In and around 1967, probably a little bit before, while the preparations for Expo 67 were being made, the Bonaventure Expressway was constructed, dividing Griffintown in two, which in my estimation was a horrible, horrible thing for that community. Families did live there for a time. St. Anne's Church was closed in 1971 and demolished sometime after that.
It was sad. It was sad. There were a lot of people broken-hearted. It had been a shrine, as well, too. From people all over parts of the city would go there every Tuesday for devotions. And so it was, and then for ourselves, and living in that parish, it broke us down quite a bit. We missed it. Griffintown was coming down then. All the houses were being demolished. So then they were finding houses for people in the Point who lived in Griffintown. And my husband did work on trying to get more houses, so he was well known. So we were able, and we were introduced to these homes in Point St. Charles.
40% of Quebecers have some sort of Irish blood in them. And we need only look at today's mayor, Denis Coderre. You would think with somebody by the name of Coderre, there wouldn't be any Irish in there. But his grandmother has Irish ancestry going back to County Cavan. And so with the mix of the French and the Irish and the English, you find some most unusual people with Irish roots.
I think the work ethic and the charitable endeavors have been passed on through the generations, and I think within our family anyways, I think it lives on today. We're all very involved. We all work hard at what we do professionally, and even within our volunteerism, we work hard at that as well. And we also have that joie de vivre. I don't want to say we party hard too, but we do. We have a good time. We know how to have a good time, like the Irish, in the Irish tradition.